just want to pick up on Senator Warren's point. Are you telling us that the former head of CDC went to you, you asked her, are you a trustworthy person? And she said, no, I am not a trustworthy person?
She didn't say, no, I'm not a trustworthy person. She said, no. I'm giving a quote. And I asked her twice.
No, 1 second. And you're also repeating now that she is a liar, correct? What she wrote in the Wall Street Journal.
If she wrote that I fired her because she refused to sign on in advance for the ASIP committee, no, that's not accurate.
All right, so you're calling her a liar, and I look forward to her coming before the Help Committee, maybe this committee as well.
Hello and welcome back, and thanks for choosing to hang out with your host, the Conservative Bird, and your co-host, me, Double D, and you're on the Brick Road Podcast.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, and before we get into everything, please make sure to hit that like, hit that share, hit the subscribe, and smash the notification for us. It is literally the free and easy way to help our channel grow as big as possible without you having to fund anything at all. So today,
I like that.
Yeah. So today, Double D, we got a few things to talk about. First thing we're going to get into is RFK had a hearing today for his agenda within the Trump administration. They're basically calling it the Trump health agenda. You want to break it down a little bit for the people?
I'll break it down. Now, look, basically, here's the deal. First of all, they were actually calling for resignation. You know that, right? They were calling for Bobby's resignation. Now, obviously,
really?
That was, yeah, that was yesterday, though. It was put down pretty quick.
It makes sense.
But basically, there's a CDC director she got a letter of a bunch of signatures from other employees and the Health and Human Services and the CDC and all that, and got all these people and signatures or whatever that are disgruntled, basically just disgruntled employees with the changes that RFK is bringing.
Okay.
So they were calling for his resignation. I'm not really sure how far that actually went. But what we're about to see here is obviously this in the beginning part here, RFK is, talking with Bernie Sanders about that CDC director. And I guess Bernie's trying to basically gaslight him into saying that she's lying. Yeah. I think it'll speak better for itself. But honestly, I mean, I think RFK is savage. He really pretty much handles the situation like a pro. I mean, he handles it like a pro. So to break it down, they want him out. He's not going anywhere, so now they're just trying to stand in his way. There is the issue of the vaccinations, too.
Right.
He thinks that vaccinations should no longer be a federal mandate. It should actually be mandated by states, and it should be the states' choices. Now, I tend to agree with that because I'm a 10th Amendment states' rights kind of guy. Okay. I think the less power in the federal government, the better off we are as a people.
I 1,000% agree. I would even take it a little bit further to say that I think vaccines should be mandated by parents. I think it should be parental's choice on whether they want to vaccine their child or not. That's just my personal belief. But I do agree that we should take as much power out of the federal government's hands as possible because they tend to overstep their boundaries, not just by a little bit, not just, we're just going to step our foot in the door. No, they break your door down, they kick your windows in, they do everything possible to invade your life and do what they can to implement what their will on your life. And to me, I've felt like this for a long time. We just need to disband the federal government at this point.
I agree. I mean, you got 535 people who all have a God complex.
Right.
And that's on both sides. And that's on both sides of the fence, man. I mean, honestly, you don't go into politics unless you have an ego and you're a little bit narcissistic to begin with.
Yeah.
Because people who are, easy, lazy, as Ronald Reagan would call them, laissez-faire, which is people just go along and just status quo, nothing changes if nothing changes type situation. Those people don't go into politics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't. The people who go into politics are your activists, your lawyers, your scientists, your book writers, your social workers, people who really, really, really have a complex about themselves, and I guess in a sense probably think they're smarter, better, and can do it better than the rest of the country. And that's why having that much power in the hands of 535 people, when regarding the lives of 380 million, that's a really small percentage of people making all the choices.
For sure. And that small percentage could be easily manipulated one way or the other. So, Double D, there's a few people in politics I love listening to talk. I love listening to Trump. I don't care. I love listening to Joe Biden talk. I love listening to Robert Kennedy, not RFK Jr. talk, but Robert Kennedy, the guy, the dude from down south, I think Louisiana or something like that.
Kennedy.
I'm sorry, John Kennedy, right? Yeah, John
Senator
Kennedy.
John Kennedy.
John Kennedy. And I love listening to RFK and Bernie Sanders go at it. It is the greatest thing in the world. And right here, this clip is just enough to show you. You're going to laugh within the first 20 seconds of this clip. Guarantee if you're watching this.
Absolutely. Let that clip roll, Bird, because it's hilarious.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, last November, while you were under consideration to become Secretary of Health...
Oh, I'm sorry. This is the wrong one. This is the one we were looking for.
It's all right. That was a funny one, too, though.
We're going to watch that next.
Are you telling us that the former head of CDC went to you, you asked her, are you a trustworthy person? And she said, no, I am not a trustworthy person?
She didn't say, no, I'm not a trustworthy person. She said, no. A quote. And I asked her
No, 1 second. And you're also repeating now that she is a liar, correct? What you wrote in the Wall Street Journal?
If she wrote that I fired her because she refused to sign on in advance for the ACIP committee, no, that's not accurate.
All right, so you're calling her a liar, and I look forward to her coming before the Help Committee, maybe this committee as well. All right, Mr. Secretary.
He didn't necessarily call her a liar. You know, it's easy for somebody to take something and misinterpret what's actually being said. So she could have thought one thing and something else could have actually been happening that she just didn't realize.
Well, I mean, basically, he fired her, so I wouldn't be surprised if she lies about him.
Right,
honestly.
right. I mean, at that point, you're going to.
We all know how disgruntled employees can be,
right?
Especially disgruntled ex-employees. And I got a feeling that's the situation here. RFK said, hit the road, girl. Don't you look back.
No, Mo, no, Mo, no, Mo, no, Mo.
I've got a bunch of questions.
It was
Appreciate
a
brevity in answering it.
situation.
So-called beautiful bill threw 15 million Americans off of health care, substantially raised premiums, and is going to have a terrible impact on nursing homes, community health centers.
Can we time out for a second, Bird? I want to correct Bernie Sanders there. Those 15 million people that were kicked off the health care were actually illegals. They weren't supposed to be here to begin with.
Yep.
Their green cards or their visas, or they were here. All that stuff was either expired and they overstayed their stay. Those were the only people so far who have been kicked off. I hate it when the Democrats come out and say 15 million people were kicked off.
Right. Like, no, we just literally sent them back to their country.
15 million people were kicked off their health care. 15 million people, they were kicked off their... No, sorry, Mr. Sanders. That was 15 million illegals. I just had to I'm sorry, I had to...
Do it again.
15 million people were 15 million people.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. They know it. You know, it's funny though, and that's what they do. They try to gaslight you. They try to play into your emotions and make you think that's what's really happening. Not realizing, like, no, we're just sending all these people back to their country where they belong, and we're not going to take care of them no more. That's who's getting kicked off.
I mean, those weren't Americans, unless you consider South Americans Americans, and then, okay, you got me.
Oh, yeah.
Very briefly, is that really making America healthy again?
It's going to have it's going to be the biggest infusion of federal dollars into rural health care in American history.
Yeah, you know why? Because you're cutting $150 billion for rural hospitals. You're putting $50 billion back. That's not an infusion. That's a loss of $100 billion. All right, next question.
Wow, who was this
Trump,
math teacher?
who I don't usually agree with, called COVID vaccines, quote, one of the greatest miracles in the history of modern day medicine that saved tens of millions of lives worldwide.
That's a
I don't agree with that statement.
lie.
Bold-faced lie. I mean, first of all, when they were pushing the vaccination, Donald Trump was already out of office. Now, yes, Operation Warp Speed was Donald Trump's thing. He got the vaccine created, but he didn't get to stay in office long enough to see the implementation and the dangers that came from it. And Donald Trump never said that he thinks everybody should have to take it. He never thought mandatory vaccinations were a good idea.
He didn't want to lock us down. He did. He was just doing what he was told he had to do. He was just complying with what the rest of the world was doing. And
well, actually, Bird, he let the governors make that decision.
Yeah,
remember?
he let all the governors make the decision, and rightfully so, you know. And I blame DeWine mostly for our problems in our state.
Wow. Yeah, well,
just like people should be thanking DeSantis, people should be thanking Governor Abbott for what they did for their states.
Yes, absolutely, and we're going to be thanking Vivek Ramaswamy here in another year.
It's just it's crazy. like people want to always argue and bicker and bitch and complain, but then when somebody does something good, they don't want to give them their flowers.
I mean, he did push a vaccine that, the warp speed with Pfizer and Merck, and he got it produced.
Right. Which I wasn't for the vaccine.
I wasn't for it either, but he wasn't forcing it on me either.
No, yeah, exactly. So, it was these shady companies and these shady states with these shady mandates that were forcing the vaccine on people. I'm glad I didn't cave into that shit, dude, because I wasn't doing it. I even though my old boss, after the fact, he asked me if I wanted to come deliver the 1 year for Christmas or something, and it was during COVID, but it was after COVID. You know what I mean? It was right in the middle, like 2023-ish or something like that, 2022. And when he messaged me, the first thing he said, or the first thing I asked him was, do I have to wear a mask? Because if he would have said, yeah, I would be like, yeah, I'm definitely not coming. I didn't go anyway, but he wasn't, he's not a liberal, and he basically told me, bring one if you want one.
And that's how it should always be. It should be an individual personal choice. I mean, first of all, when you're wearing that mask, you're really not protected from the virus.
No, it wasn't doing nothing.
You're just keeping your own fluids in your face.
You're just making yourself look like an idiot.
Yeah, well, and you're keeping your own fluids in your. So if you have COVID or you have the flu,
you're keeping it.
Yeah, wear a mask when you're out in public, so you're not spreading it around. You're still going to spread it if you're out in public,
right? Just stay home.
At least you could control it. You just stay home. It's common sense. You don't need to put a mask on and go to Walmart.
Right.
I mean, if you need ginger ale that bad, have at Walmart set it or Amazon. It'll be there within 2 hours anyway.
Exactly.
So, I mean, honestly, the whole mask mandates, the vaccine mandates, none of that was Trump.
No.
The only thing that Trump did is he said he put it in the hands of the states, told the governors, you handle it the way you think you should handle it. I never, ever once heard Trump say you should wear a mask or you shouldn't. I never once heard him say you should get the vaccine or that you shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Right.
I did hear him say this was the fastest we've ever got a vaccine on the market, Operation Warp Speed. I definitely believe gets credit for that for sure.
Yeah.
But he didn't force it on me.
No.
You know who forced? I mean, honestly, my job. I am not going to say my job forced it on me, but it was definitely strongly encouraged, and I ended up taking it because I drive, patients who some of them couldn't take the vaccine if they wanted to because the vaccine would be harmful because of their medical conditions.
Right.
So yeah, I did it to protect the people that I drove, and I wore a mask to protect the people. That was my personal choice.
Right. Exactly. And you chose to do that, and that's we should all have our choice. Nothing should be forced or mandated. It should all be by choice.
Exactly. That should have been a choice, and personal, vaccinations and vaccinations for your children. When I was first getting vaccinated, because Gen X, we were the test group for vaccinations, to be honest. Gen X and the boomers, essentially. It wasn't really a mandate to get your kids vaccinated, but the school systems could mandate it, and the Cleveland school systems definitely mandated vaccines back in the day.
Yeah, they
Actually,
did.
most of the entire state did, to be honest.
Yeah, they did,
Almost
which
every
I think is bullshit because it's a federal mandate.
Well, I mean, the state was actually mandating. We used to get an Ohio State immunization record book when I was a kid. It said Ohio, Department of Health immunization record book. It would had all your immunization or the date they were done and what have you.
Crazy.
Basically like the COVID card, except it was a book.
Right. So they've been doing this shit for years.
Yeah, but I mean, that was an indirect mandate because it was actually mandated by the school systems, and the state pretty much pushed it at the time.
Crazy.
So, and rightfully so, because mumps, measles, whooping cough, chicken pox, these were all fucking common diseases. I mean, I've had 3 of the 4 that I just mentioned.
Right. Yeah. I've had
I had chicken pox. I had chicken pox, mumps, and whooping cough. I've never had the measles. I just had whooping cough in the last 2 years, and then I went and got the vaccine. I got the vaccination last year, so it won't happen for a while.
Nice.
That's all. Because you can get the shot for the whooping cough. It's also the same as the tetanus shot. You can get them together.
I got you.
Yeah, so just do them together. Why not? And you won't have to worry about coughing until your ribs hurt.
Yeah.
Really, the whooping cough don't kill a lot of people. It's just really, really, really hurts your lungs and your chest a lot.
Yeah.
So, if you're old, it might kill you. If you're compromised.
Cough too
or
much,
whatever.
you might pull a muscle. And,
dude, I was in so much pain the last time I had it, dude. My abdomen and my lungs and my ribs. I think I might have even cracked a rib, honestly,
that
from
sucks.
coughing so hard.
That sucks.
That was a couple years back. But like I said, then I went and got the vaccination. It hasn't happened since. So
That's good.
Worldwide, scientific community agrees with Trump. Lancet study found that it prevented almost 20 million deaths during their first year of use. Secretary Kennedy, are President Trump and the medical community right? Or do you still believe that the COVID vaccine was, quote, the deadliest vaccine ever made?
No, first of all, I didn't say that. I said that in terms of affairs reports a while ago. I said today, I think that President Trump should get the Nobel Prize.
So who's right? Is Trump or the medical community right, or are you right?
President Trump did an extraordinary piece of leadership.
Is he right or wrong? Did COVID save millions of lives?
As I said, he got Americans back to work. At that time, that particular vaccine, which perfectly matched the virus that was circulating then, and I have no idea how many lives it saved, but it saved quite a few.
What I find a little...
So what is Bernie trying to do here? I don't understand.
He's just trying to gaslight him and one up, give him a little. I gotcha.
Yeah, he's like, I don't get it. I mean, it sounds to me like they're in agreement. I mean, we're more than halfway through the video, and it sounds to me like I'm not even sure what Bernie's argument is at this point.
I love it. He's just mad that he's with Trump now. That's all.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
It's
Weird. In this discussion,
all it
I'm
is.
hearing it over and over again
I
this morning,
can't
Mr.
think of
Chairman.
anything else.
Is we've got the entire medical community on one side. You got the AMA representing hundreds of thousands of doctors, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Public Health Association. All of these organizations are telling us that COVID vaccine and vaccines in general are safe and effective. You are casting doubt on that. Who are the organizations that are agreeing with you in casting aspersions on vaccines?
The primary advisors are Marty McCary, Jay Bhattacharya, Dr. Oz, Vinay Prasad.
So you got a few doctors who agree with you, and I'm giving you the
Not a
name.
few doctors. What you're talking about, there's a big difference, Senator, between established science and the scientific establishment, which has been co-opted by the pharmaceutical
Oh, hold on. So you're telling the American people that the American Medical Association, representing hundreds of thousands of people, have been co-opted and that they should not trust their doctors.
And I'm
the
telling
American
you,
Academy of Pediatrics, and by the way, just for the record, every single Republican, I don't mean to be political here, Mr. Chairman, has received PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. Are they all corrupt as well?
And I'm telling you, the American Heart Association has been co-opted by the food.
Everybody but you, Senator. But you know what? When you ran for president, we have a corrupt campaign finance system. Maybe you'll agree with me on that. Okay, you were running for president, you got a billionaire behind it. You received $300,000 from people, not from the industry, people as I did, from individuals. You corrupt.
How did we get to this?
He's so pissed.
Whoa.
I can't
How did we
even-
get to that,
He's
dude?
so pissed. He's so fucking pissed. It's the greatest.
Dude, he just
Bernie
got
Sanders.
angry.
Bernie Sanders pissed is like elite level. It is so funny, dude.
He's like, but you're trying to tell me.
Are you corrupt?
It's like, dude,
Are you
it's like,
Listen.
Can we agree that we're all corrupt? That's what he's basically saying. Can we agree that we all accept money from the
You
pharmaceutical?
took $300,000. Are you corrupt?
Right? Can we all agree?
$3 million. Every Republican got corporate PAC money for the pharmaceutical industry.
Corporate PAC
Democrats
money.
as well. Everybody is corrupt. But you? Is that what we're looking at? I don't think so. And I think the issue
I don't
now,
even know what you're talking about.
well, I think you do know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The issue is every time anyone
Are you saying,
with you,
are you saying the pharmaceutical industry was supporting my presidential campaign?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
Farthest from the truth, that's for sure.
Think about this. The people that Robert Kennedy speaks out against the most is the pharmaceutical campaign. And they funded his campaign. All right, Bernie.
I know.
A good one, buddy. A good
Nice
one.
try. Talk about pulling a rabbit out of a hat.
All right, I can't believe it,
charging us the
bro.
highest prices in the world. They are pervasive. But to suggest that every institution, the AMA, the pediatrics people, is corrupt because they disagree with you is an insult to the president.
Listen, people disagree with me all the
said
time.
that.
I have arguments
He's
in my
so
agency, heated arguments every day with Jay Bhattacharya, with Marty McCary, with Dr. Oz.
You have given the names of a few people. I have given you the names of organizations representing hundreds of thousands of doctors and scientists.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. We're all corrupt and douchebags. Oh, man, we already got a little glimpse of it. But that's great, dude. I could literally listen to them two, like, just debate each other on anything. And it'll be the funniest thing in the world, dude.
Oh, hell yeah. And you can all, I can't help but think that the two of them, that whatever their animosities are, they go a lot deeper than just this, dude.
Oh, dude, well, I'll guarantee well, I don't understand how Bernie doesn't at least agree with him on some things, because they gotta both be pissed off that the Democratic Party did both of them extremely dirty.
And that's the difference between RFK and Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders doesn't have integrity.
Yeah, he's just a get along, go along.
He's going to go along with the Democrats said, sit down, boy. And he sat down, boy.
Yep.
That's what he did. They said, sit your ass down. It's not your turn. It's never going to be your turn either, Bernie, because they know you can't win. They know he can't win the presidency. He's not really a well-liked person, and he's kind of mean.
Right.
I mean, at least Joe Biden, he ain't nice.
Right.
But he could come when he's sitting at his dumb stare, looking at 1,000 miles away, and shaking hands with ghosts. At the very least, it's still entertaining.
Yeah, that's true. Very entertaining. Very entertaining,
dude. Oh my God, man! I mean, comedians. If comedians were allowed to be comedians here in the Biden years, they would have had a field day with that one.
Oh, there were some. There were some.
They were, but they were all conservative comedians. I'm talking any comedian. Talk about letting a good thing go to waste.
Yeah, seriously. SNL wasted it. South Park wasted it. They all wasted it. So, earlier I was talking about who I love hearing talk just because it's so funny for people in Congress. There's also people I can't stand hearing talk, I can't stand Maxine Waters.
Oh yeah, she makes me sick to my stomach.
I can't stand Jen Psaki. I can't stand Jean-Claude Van Damme or whatever her name was. And I cannot stand Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, you mean Jean Pierre?
Oh yeah, whatever her name is, Jean-Claude Pierre.
Yeah. What a Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yeah, whatever her name is. And I cannot stand Pocahontas.
Oh yeah,
it is so annoying. It is. I don't know if it's her voice. I don't know if it's her cadence. I don't know if it's her demeanor. I just can't stand her. If she was my
all three. It's all three.
If she was my grandmother, no comment. No comment.
Well, if she was my grandmother, and see, I lived with my grandmother, so for on and off for quite a few years, and getting my child rearing. And if Pocahontas was my grandmother, I would run away. Where are they from? Massachusetts or something? Isn't that where she's at? Massachusetts, somewhere up in the northern.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I would have ran as far to Florida as the farthest part of Florida. Hell, I might have even ran through Alligator Alley butt naked, hoping to get eaten.
Oh man, it's crazy. So it's great that we got at least people like RFK. They can at least stick it to her a little bit for us. For us small guys that can't stand hearing her talk and know the type of person that she is. At least the people that know her, they can at least criticize her for us.
Hey, Bird, before you let this clip roll, this actual face that Bobby is making right now, does that say bring it on, bitch, or what? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Dude, look at that expression on his face. Dude.
That's like the you smug, arrogant bitch face.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting. The only thing I'm waiting for next is for him to rip his shirt.
Yeah. Throw his coffee at her.
Yeah. Like, you crazy.
You crazy bitch, you shut your mouth.
Yeah, you crazy. Anyway, I can't do Bobby. I can do Bernie. I can't do Bobby.
I can do Bobby.
Yeah, I wish I could because he's got such a great voice to impersonate. But
the vaccines are bad for our school system. They're bad.
That's pretty good.
Autism, and they're causing all kinds of problems. We need to study.
Now, end that with "Bring it on, bitch." No, bring it on, bitch.
I can't even do it again. All right, let's check this out.
All right, well, let the clip roll then, Bert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So last November, while you were under consideration to become Secretary of Health and Human Services, Mr. Kennedy, you said, quote, if vaccines are working for somebody, I'm not going to take them away. No exceptions, no ifs, ands, or buts. You would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. Then last week, you announced that the COVID-19 vaccine is no longer approved for healthy people under the age of 65. In announcing the change, you said the vaccine will be available for anyone who wants it. Now, obviously, both things cannot be true at the same moment. So let's clear this up right now, Secretary Kennedy. Will you tell America
how can they not be true at this? I don't understand that. Wait, how? First of all, all he's saying is if you're under 65, you don't really need it, but you shouldn't be forced to take it.
Right.
If you're over 65, probably be a good idea to take it. But he didn't say don't take it.
Right.
That ain't what he said.
See, they like to use these little manipulation to play into people's emotions.
Yeah, dude,
it's all
that's what they're
Democratic
doing.
strategy. It doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't catch my eye. I don't
doesn't appeal to me.
I don't care what these people say anymore. Like, I'm just sick of hearing
No.
them. I wish these just put it like this. They're lucky I'm not president, buddy. They're lucky I'm
Let
not
me tell
president.
you. Let me tell our audience what I hear when Pocahontas talks. I hear wah, 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 wah. And then it's Charlie Brown. You
Yeah.
want to kick this football? Because that's really, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like the Charlie Brown parents, dude. Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
That's what I hear when Pocahontas talks. I hear wah, 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 wah.
Let's compare it.
Yes.
All adults and all
Oh, wow,
children
you're right.
over 6 months of age are
You are
eligible
spot
to get
on.
a COVID booster at their local pharmacy today.
Anybody can get the booster. Anybody can get it.
Anybody. So you're saying that is now the official rule of HHS. Anybody is eligible to get a booster by just walking into the pharmacy.
It's not recommended for healthy people.
No. If you don't recommend, then the consequence of that in many states is that you can't walk into a pharmacy and get one. It means insurance companies don't have to cover the $200.
So what? Then if you really want the booster, if you really want the booster and you really feel like it's going to save your life, then the money should not be a problem. Should not be about the money.
Exactly. People paid for the flu shot for the last 60 years.
Yeah, who cares?
It didn't become free until 2020 when they did the COVID thing. Then they started doing all these vaccinations for free. And I'm going to be honest, when vaccinations are free, and they're pushing that free and they're really pushing you through I have to be a little suspicious of why.
Yep, me too, for sure. Especially when especially when you have people like this and Bernie Sanders pushing for vaccines so hard.
I mean, and also here's another thing: Medicare patients and Medicaid patients are still going to get that vaccination for free.
Yeah.
When you're on, whatever their copay is. So let's say the vaccination's $200, like she's saying.
Okay.
All right. So that means their copay is going to be what?
$50, $80,
40.
Okay.
40.
You're even less than what I said. These people are pathetic, bro.
Right?
These people are pathetic.
On average, it's 20.
Yeah,
dude, they just love to turn the story around, dude. That's what they do, man.
Yeah.
The Democrats are masters of reinterpretation and rewriting.
We're used to it by now, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've gotten to the point that it's happened so much in my lifetime. It's happened since the beginning of my lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
And continues to. So all I've ever seen was the repetitive, the repetitive propaganda over and over.
Right.
And it's like.
And that's what it is. It's nothing but propaganda.
And I got all my basic vaccinations. And if I want to get a flu shot, which I probably will, because I'm 57 now and I get the flu shot has had no adverse effects on me. I have no problem with it. But honestly, the COVID, I think flu's actually worse than the COVID if you compare the two in real sickness.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it.
I mean, but if you have a strong immunity, you're probably not even going to get the COVID anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't even matter. I've got it twice and got over it. Whatever. It's not a big deal.
I had it once, then got the vaccinations, and I caught it 3 more times after that.
Right. So it's like obviously the vaccine doesn't do nothing. It was just
Dick. Like Bobby Kennedy said it best against Bernie. He said that vaccination that Donald Trump designed was for that particular virus at the time.
I'm going to insert a $1 million man thing right here where he's going. All right, let's get back into Pocahontas. I mean Elizabeth Warren.
All right, let's get back to Poca.
dollars or so cost. As Senator Dr. Cassidy said, you are effectively denying people vaccines.
We're not going to recommend a product for which there's no clinical data for that indication. Is that what I should be doing?
What you should be doing is honoring your promise that you made when you were looking to get confirmed in this job.
You're going like
and
this.
That is, you promised that you
Why
would
was she
not
doing that?
take
What's
away.
that? What's that? Why did she do that?
I love that he called her out for it.
Yeah, he's like, you're doing this. It's all about for her. It's always about the money with Pocahontas.
Oh, we already know. And
So, yeah,
just
it's always about the
just like
money.
she could save some money by going to college and saying she's an Indian
Exactly.
or Native American,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah. Said she was Native American, Native whatever, in that part of the country. But
Right.
truth be told, she was just trying to save a few bucks on her education.
Hey,
That's all.
hey,
Hey, you know what?
power to her.
Props. Kudos, man. You got some money saved. Great.
Vaccines from anyone who wanted them. You just changed the classification of the COVID vaccine.
I'm not taking
And
them
the
away from people,
consequence-
Senator.
It takes it away if you can't get it from your pharmacist.
Well, most Americans
It
are going to be
takes
able to
it
get it
away
from their
if you have to
pharmacy
pay
for free.
$40.
Most Americans will be able to get it from their pharmacy
The
free.
question is, everyone who wants it, that was your promise.
No, I didn't. I never promised that I was going to recommend products with which there is no indication.
When you said.
And I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies, Senator.
Did you hold up a big sign saying that you were lying when you said that? Because you are the one who said
didn't even hear
you
him.
would
Did you
not
see that?
take them away.
Yeah.
Now, Senator
I'm not taking them away from it.
Secretary,
You want me to indicate a product for which there is no clinical data?
Senator,
Is that what you want?
Secretary Kennedy, you said you wouldn't, and now you did.
I'm not taking them away.
Obviously,
Everybody
You
can
didn't
get
take 'em
access
away.
to them.
No, they can't walk
can't
into
do
a
it
pharmacy
away.
the way that it could last
Wow,
month
she's
and get
unbelievable,
access
dude.
It
to a
depends on the
vaccine.
state. It depends on the states.
Depends. A year ago,
But they can still get it. Everybody can get it.
ago, it
Everybody can get it, Senator.
So let's move on. You clearly are taking away vaccines.
I love how
He never said that.
You want to know what the greatest thing is? He's listening to everything she's saying, and he's answering her, and she's just not even listening to him.
I know. She had to. She could. She didn't hear a word. That's what I was saying. She's talking right over him.
I cannot stop laughing. It is so funny because he's just like, this stupid bitch, what is wrong with you?
Right.
Like I would,
Like,
I would legit say that. I'd be like, bitch, I would be laughing right now if I was RFK, and I'd be like, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Seen the list for what's coming up next, and that is the agenda for the next CDC vaccine panel. And first up is ratifying your COVID actions. Second is hepatitis B is on the agenda. So should Americans expect you to take away hepatitis vaccine access as well, even though you promised not to?
As I said,
never
I'm
said
not taking
that.
vaccines away from anybody.
Okay, same answer, right? You're just going to deny
Well,
that when people can't get access, that you're not taking it.
Listen, just because
she's
somebody
just
has to,
unbelievable.
just because somebody can't get something for free and they have to pay for it now, that doesn't mean that they don't
can't
have
get
it. They can still
It
get
doesn't
it.
matter.
They just have to pay for
Because-
it.
Because if they are poor, they're probably on Medicaid, and they're going to get it for free anyway.
Right.
I mean, her point, dude. That's why she's talking over. All she's trying to do is show her constituency, look, I'm going to stand up to RFK. It doesn't even matter if I have a platform to stand on or if I have a leg to stand on, for that matter. I'm just going to scream at RFK because that's what you elected me to do.
Right.
That's really all she's saying. The Pocahontas, she can't be taken seriously, dude. She's just
Right.
really, she really can't be taken seriously. I don't. Yeah, whatever. First of all, he didn't even say. He said it over and over. I'm not taking away vaccines. I'm not taking away vaccines. All he's saying is they're taking away the mandate. That's it.
Right.
To say we're not going to force you to have to take them.
Right.
What is wrong with this person, dude? Is she really that just so full of herself that? What is wrong with her? Seriously, Elizabeth Warren.
She's getting paid.
Elizabeth Warren. What is wrong with you? Are you just crazy, Miss Warren? Seriously.
The way.
She's crazy.
Then let me ask
She
you,
is.
is that the same game you're
1000%.
going to play with
Well,
measles,
you want me to,
mumps,
so you want me to
rubella,
recommend
chickenpox?
every product in the world so that
I
without
want
any
you to
clinical trial
follow
data?
through on your promises.
Yeah, my promise was to give.
A month ago, we could get COVID vaccines by just walking.
You can
into a
still get
pharmacy.
COVID vaccines,
You
Senator.
are taking that away.
No, you are
So
still.
let me
You can
ask
still
you
get the
one more
COVID vaccines, and
question,
Medicare
Secretary
will still
Kennedy.
pay for them, and Medicaid
You
will
tell
still
the
pay for
head
them.
of
Hello,
the
I just said
CDC
that.
she refused to sign off on your changes to the childhood vaccine schedule, that she had to resign.
No, I told her that she had to resign because I asked her, "Are you a trustworthy person?" And she said no.
Said no.
So if you had an employee who told you they weren't trustworthy, would you ask them to resign, Senator?
So I'm
Answer the question.
She's not going to answer it because she knows he's right. She's just going to go back to yelling. Elizabeth Warren is a joke.
sorry, but this
She's a
is not
fucking
what
joke.
she has
Beyond
said
a joke.
publicly. She has
Well,
said
I'm
she
not
would
surprised about that.
reapprove. So you're saying she's lying?
Yes.
Yes.
Every conversation I had with her, there
And
were
let me get this
witnesses.
straight. This is the same person that less than a month
We're
later, you
absolutely
stood
saying
next
she's
to her
lying.
and described her as unimpeachable. And you had full confidence in her, and that you had full confidence in her scientific credentials. And in a month, she became a liar? Is
Yeah,
that what
you
you're
should
saying?
ask her what changed. And by the way, a month ago, you were.
Here's
Well,
what's wrong.
James.
Here's what's wrong with Pocahontas' logic, right? Double D. I could tell you a lie and become a liar in 1 second. What do you mean?
What was that?
She's saying about how long that she worked there and saying, oh, in 10 months she became a liar. I could tell you a lie and become a liar in 1 second.
Yeah, she definitely.
You know what I'm saying, though? You could literally tell
Yeah.
one lie and you're a liar from there on out. You
Dude,
lied.
I had an ex that used to always tell me that. She's like, as long as you're, believe you, but the first time you lie to me, I'll never believe you.
Yeah, it's like it's hard to gain trust in somebody when you know they're lying.
Yeah, once you've crossed that line,
Yeah.
and the woman, he asked her, "Are you trustworthy?" She said no.
Who answers that like that? At least she was
Apparently,
honest.
She was honest, but she was also not very bright.
Yeah, she should have said, yeah, and infiltrated them.
She basically, basically she was, she made it clear
Or-
that she made it clear that he couldn't in particular trust her. is what
Maybe
actually happened.
she wanted to get fired, so she said that so he would fire her.
And then she could come against him and call for his resignation,
That
get a
could
bunch
be
of
that.
signatures
I
with all her little dude. Obviously, she created. Here's the thing. What I find interesting about women in power, they love to create chaos.
Yep, and this goes to my theory. I don't think
Yeah.
women should be in the government.
I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't have anything to. That they do tend to use chaos as a control mechanism.
Yeah.
And as you can see, Elizabeth Warren right now is proving me correct as we speak.
Yep.
I
We're
mean,
voting against her.
Go ahead.
so the CDC director who was lying and obviously creating a negative situation, now we all know who the CDC director is. Hell, I'll be honest with you, a week ago I didn't even know her name.
Yeah, I don't remember it either. But
Now we all know who she is. She's famous now. So
Yeah.
this was all about money. She doesn't care that she got fired. She's gonna get every story. People are gonna be paying her to come on the show and talk about how bad of a person Bobby Kennedy is.
And then what's she gonna do?
3.5 years, she's gonna get beat up.
And then what's she gonna do? She's gonna write a book.
Write a book. You're goddamn right. She's gonna write a book. How I got fired from the CDC.
Ineligible or unsuited to the task.
I voted
Now I
against her
agree
because
with
I was afraid she was going to bend the knee to you and Donald Trump. And it looks like she didn't bend the knee, so you fired her. Look, you're putting America's babies' health at risk, America's seniors' health at risk.
She don't even
all
care about
Americans'
babies.
health at risk, and you should resign.
Senator Sanders.
Well, tell Elizabeth Warren to eat one.
That doesn't make any sense because they literally support abortion at a higher rate. At a higher rate than anyone else, and
if she had it her way, we'd be killing babies in the 8th month. So fuck Pocahontas.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy, dude. I can't believe that. So, on to the next bit of news. So, some Epstein survivors have came out, and now they are going to compile their own list of people on the Epstein list.
And before we go ahead and go to that, real quick, I want to point out that what these women are actually pushing for, just so our audience understands, it is called the the Jeffrey Epstein, or the what is it called again? The actual name of the bill. Hold on.
The Epstein Files
Transparency Act. Yes. The Epstein Files Transparency Act. Thank you. So this is what the Epstein Files Transparency Act, this is just a summarization gist of it. In general, subject to subsection, not later than 30 days after the date of enactment of this act, the Attorney General shall make publicly available in a searchable and downloadable format all unclassified records, documents, communications, and investigation materials in the possession of the Department of Justice. That includes the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the U.S. District Attorney's Office, and anything that would relate to A, Jeffrey Epstein, including all investigations, prosecutions, and custodial matters. B, Ghislaine Maxwell. They don't really explain that in detail, but she's in prison, so I don't think they need the detail.
Right.
3, any flight logs or travel records that includes manifests, itineraries, pilot records, customs or immigration documentation, any aircraft, vessel, or vehicle owned, operated, or actually used by Jeffrey Epstein or any related entity.
Okay.
So that means anybody affiliated with him at the time. And 4th, any individuals, including government officials named or referenced in connection with the criminal activities, civil settlements, immunity, or plea agreements or investigatory proceedings of Jeffrey Epstein. And there's one last thing. And any corporate, nonprofit, academic, or governmental entities that are known or allegedly tied to the trafficking or financial networks of Jeffrey Epstein. So there it is. There's the Epstein
So that's
Transparency
just basically
Act.
a full transparency for them, from what it seems like.
Basically, it says is all that tells all, for sure.
Right.
And
so we got some of the girls actually coming out, and like we said, they're going to come out with their own list, though.
yes, and they are demanding that this act, obviously, this act passed. And yeah, she brings out the point that, hey, if you don't want to release the list, maybe we just release our own.
Okay.
And I can't say that I disagree with it.
No, not at all. I don't
know
disagree.
if I agree with her, but I definitely don't disagree with her.
So I didn't listen to all of this yet. I just caught a little bit of it. So we're gonna check this out basically for the first time.
Yeah, let that clip roll, Bird.
Hi there. My name is Lisa Phillips, and I'm the host of a award-nominated podcast called From Now On, a platform supporting survivors. I want to thank all of my survivor sisters who came before me today. I'll be very short.
There's Marjorie Taylor Greene.
In the year 2000, I was taken to Jeffrey Epstein's island while on a photo shoot on a nearby island. Who I saw and what I experienced there was a glimpse into a very dark and disturbing world. For years after, I tried to avoid Jeffrey, but he had introduced me to Katie Ford, the owner of the Ford Modeling Agency.
She would be
Epstein's reach
considered an
went to the very
affiliate of
top of
Jeffrey
fashion,
Epstein,
arts, and entertainment.
the lady she's talking about.
This did
Okay.
not just happen to underage girls in Florida. In New York City, hundreds of young, ambitious women were abused by him. Epstein was not just a serial predator, he was an international human trafficker. And many around him knew, many participated, and many profited. And yet, he was protected. So I stand here today for every woman who has been silenced, exploited, and dismissed. We are not asking for pity. We are here demanding accountability, and I'm demanding justice. Congress must choose. Will you continue to protect predators, or will you finally protect survivors? And also, I would like to announce here today, us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list. We know the names.
What?
Many of us were abused by them. Now, together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know, who were regularly in.
Did you guys catch that?
Yeah, she's
So that was
They're
really.
all- look, if you look, there's like 1, 2, the guy standing behind her, the woman standing next to the guy standing behind her with funky looking sunglasses that looks like the wife of Dolph Lundgren in Rocky IV. And then you've got standing next to her on the other side, the Sarah Silverman looking girl with the big old shit-eating grin on her face. I don't understand that.
So-
nothing that they're talking about right now is worth smiling or laughing about.
Right, I'm going to rewind
Yeah,
that a second. And it's not even just that. It's just like the reaction. Like, why did this person stick their tongue out the way they did? Like, I don't.
I mean, this is a serious
This
situation.
is like,
I'm
yeah,
wondering.
you're not at like a fucking a Kid Rock concert. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm kind of
This is-
getting the feeling. I'm kind of getting the feeling that some of the they're for the we're getting paid scenario.
I want you
Because-
guys. Let's.
If you look at the big blonde in the back.
Yeah.
Look at her. Go up with your arrow just a little bit behind the Sarah Silverman looking girl. No, the other side.
Oh, this one?
Right there. Yeah. She doesn't look happy at all.
No. I'm just
The
like.
girl underneath her doesn't look happy at all. So what I don't understand is, how much you want to bet the short-haired blonde girl and the Sarah Silverman girl and the guy standing behind her? Those are all 3 lawyers.
Yeah. Let's watch that again.
Today.
Yeah, I'm betting they're lawyers.
Us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now, together as
They're lawyers,
survivors,
dude. That's
we
what's wrong
will
with them.
confidentially compile
smug
the
and
names
arrogant.
we all know,
Yeah, those are lawyers.
That's not how you
who
act.
who were
We're
regularly
about to
in the
get
Epstein world.
paid.
And it will be done by survivors and for survivors. No one else is involved.
Wow.
Stay tuned for more details.
Yeah, those are lawyers, dude. All 4 of those are lawyers right there. All 4 of them. Guarantee it.
Hello, my name is Shantae Davies, and I'm here before you today as a survivor of decades of pain, trauma, and betrayal at the hands of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, and the people who enabled them, and a government that for far too long refused to help. In 2002, I was living in California, a young woman with high aspirations of becoming an actress. I was already beginning to make a name for myself in the industry. A person I trusted, someone I thought was a friend, invited me to meet a powerful woman who could help advance my career. That woman happened to be Ghislaine Maxwell. I was asked to give her a massage, though I had almost no experience, and when I did, she praised me and promised introductions to someone enormously powerful, someone who could change the course of my life, and that man was Jeffrey Epstein. At first, I was an excited young woman on top of the world. Epstein flew me to his private island. He listened to my dreams, promised to help, but his promises came with a catch. The abuse began. He told me to keep it secret. He manipulated me with quid pro quo I did not consent to, but I felt I had no one to turn to. He was too powerful. I was just one of the many young women trapped in his orbit. I was even...
Can I point something out really quick? I'm just saying this just to say this. Nobody says quid pro quo. No one.
Other than lawyers.
Yeah, lawyers and businessmen. Nobody says that.
They're all. This is all about getting paid. But with
not
that
saying
said,
that they're wrong.
Yeah,
Nobody says like speak from the heart. If you're going to talk, speak from the heart.
Yeah, exactly. And so far, the only one that's done that was the Lisa girl who spoke at the beginning.
Right.
And honestly, it did seem very rehearsed. And this obviously isn't rehearsed, because if it wasn't, she wouldn't be reading it off her phone. And it's pretty obvious that she's reading that right now. And that's fine. She wants to get every word. It just doesn't come out across as really too authentic or too genuine. Yeah. And that's fine, because it's a stressful situation. We all know that the girls are not lying about the sexual abuse that took place.
Everybody knows it's true.
Not everybody is, how do I put this, a refined speaker either. So here's what it comes down to. I'm not even sure if we need any more of this video, to be honest. I think we clearly see what the girls are doing. They're looking, obviously, they want this Epstein Files Transparency Act filed.
Which I think all of America does.
Yeah, which all of America does. So I think side with the young ladies, what their intentions are, honestly, if they can get paid from their experience, I actually have no problem with that.
Okay.
There should be some kind of compensation. And if that compensation comes from telling their story, by all means, tell your story, get compensated. But here's the question I have. If these girls do release this list, they release this list, okay, first and foremost, who's going to be on it? Now, we already know that Bill Clinton's name's been name dropped.
Yep. That's what they said.
I'm going to take a shot at it, and there's probably going to be some famous people. We know that, and you know, I'm a huge fan of who's that lawyer's name again? Dershowitz, Alan Dershowitz. I'm a huge Dershowitz fan, but his name has been said to be on that list. We also know that
there's a lot of alleged names.
There's a lot of names on there, but the Google guy, Bill Gates. Didn't his wife Melinda actually divorce him shortly after
because of his relationship with Epstein?
Yeah, I mean, when this all became into that, there's no coincidence to any of that.
No,
so there's going to be a lot of names, and don't be surprised if you see a lot of big Democrat and big Republican donors on that list.
Yeah,
from both sides.
Yeah,
it's going to be a huge embarrassment. It's going to be a huge embarrassment for a lot of people, and even if the Transparency Act doesn't pass and they don't release that information to the public and make it, and these girls still write their book, who's going to stop them?
No one.
I mean, and everybody's going to believe them, especially if they don't pass that bill.
Well, here's another question about it. What's going to happen to the people if the list release?
That's what I was going to get to next. Are they going to go to jail? Are we going to see people go to jail? Are we going to see Bill Clinton possibly go to prison? I don't think so. I don't think it'll happen. I think his presidential immunity will kick in.
Right.
Are you going to, you know what I mean? Bill Gates, one of the most powerful tech guys in the world. I mean, I just don't see it happening. I don't think so. And most of the people, look at the P. Diddy list, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
Those people they're not going after any of them.
Yeah.
And they're not going to. And they're not going to go, and they're not going to either.
Well, P. Diddy ended up not even getting in that much trouble. All he got caught with was basically soliciting prostitution or something like that.
Yeah, and I think I think, you know, with pushing the drug thing too. But yeah, even he's not dude, he's going to be out of prison in a year from now.
Honestly, he should get, in my opinion, he should just get time served at this point.
I agree. I absolutely agree, because most of
I'll say this: he's an idiot, because if he was just wanted to get a bunch of prostitutes, he should have just fucking moved to Las Vegas. Wow, problem solved.
But, you know, instead, and it's throwing those white parties and forcing people to take drugs and give up their phones and videotaping everything, it's a little weird, to say the least, you know. But did he really break any laws other than the prostitution laws, though?
No.
He wasn't sex trafficking anybody.
Not that I know of.
I don't agree with
Listen.
anything he did.
Yeah, but to
all
each his
those
own.
people were there. Right, and they were all of age, with the exception of Justin Bieber.
That's
Now,
to each his own thing.
Yes. Now the Epstein thing's a little different because it included underage girls. So some people should go to jail.
Yeah.
But I don't think they will, Bird. What do you think?
I don't think anybody's going to go to jail. I think if P. Diddy didn't go to jail and he was the main person, then nobody should go to jail. Well, he is going to jail, but
well, he's already in jail, but he should get time served. But I'm talking about the Epstein thing.
oh, the
I don't
Epstein, I'm
think any-
sorry. I don't know.
People are going to prison, man.
I don't think. I doubt it. Who knows if we'll even ever really know? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, if they pass the bill, they have to release all the information they have. They have to release it.
yeah,
But
we know how
with
that goes.
said, exactly. With that said,
It's the
though,
government. There's no transparency with the government.
even when the names come out, you know, maybe they make an example out of a couple people they hate.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but then you
Like
know,
if Donald Trump's on that list, you damn well can believe they're gonna drag that one. You know,
Oh, without a doubt.
we're gonna hear about that one till 30 years after he passes
Right.
away. But you know what? I don't think Trump's on that list. I know he's not on that list because if he was, it would already have been out.
yeah, I still feel like the Democrats, like the way that they're willing to just bury their own regardless, just out of the pure hatred of Trump. They would have already released that list a while ago just to bury Trump anyway. So then that way he couldn't have ran.
Which brought me to our last question. Will they sacrifice their own just to get to Trump?
1,000%. They're sacrificing Bill
I-
Clinton
I-
right now.
I absolutely. And they're going to sacrifice Hillary. And they're going to sacrifice anybody
Yeah.
else. Oh yeah, dude. They're going to throw. Dude, they don't like Hillary.
I mean, they sacrificed Bernie to try and sabotage Trump, and it didn't work.
Exactly.
And
They
he still
don't
kisses.
like.
And he still kisses the Democrats' ass. He's a real bootlicker.
He really is, dude. He has no spine, no integrity, dude. I lost all respect for him when he took that lying down in 2020.
Yeah.
In 2016, even.
Right.
I was like, okay, it's her turn. But when they did it to him again in 2020, I was like, to
You're just
replace him with
spineless, bro.
a walking vegetable. Okay, I was like, all right.
And he knew
I'm
it too,
sorry,
and he endorsed it though. So it's not. He's a loser.
Exactly.
He's a loser. He's a loser.
Yeah, and what's worse at it is that's his MO, being a loser.
So into our last topic, you know how a majority of Democrats are not willing to give a Republican their flowers when it's deserved. Am I wrong or right about that?
I would say none of the Democrats are willing to do that. If there are any, they're usually disgruntled
Now,
Democrats
right
who
here,
are pissed at the Democratic Party.
Now, right here, we have one that's not pissed at the Democratic Party. Let's hear what she said before, and then after the fact, we'll listen to what she has to say. Let's check this out. This is Muriel Bowser, the
mayor of Washington, D.C.
The mayor of Washington, D.C., which, if you guys don't know, Trump had to deploy the National Guards to because the crime was getting so out of control that no one was doing nothing about it, and he did what he had to do. And listen to this. This is beforehand, 3 weeks ago, before the National Guards were deployed.
I've said before, and I'll repeat, that I believe that the president's view of D.C. is shaped by his COVID era experience during his first term.
Oh, yeah?
And it is true that those were more challenging times related
really?
to some issues. It is also true that we experienced a crime spike post-COVID.
Oh, but not right now.
But we worked quickly to put laws in place and tactics that got violent offenders off our streets and gave our police officers more tools, which is why we have seen a huge decrease in crime because of those efforts.
Oh, yeah?
we have been able to reverse that 2023 crime spike.
She knows that's a lie, by the way.
Oh yeah, you can tell by the way she's saying it. It's a lie. She's being so precise with her wording.
There's a difference between crime happening and crime being reported. There's two differences.
Exactly. And we also know there are plenty of police officers who have come forward from the Washington, D.C. Police Department who have said that they have actually fudged numbers to make the crime rates look lower. So we already know that. I think we covered that in our last episode. That one guy was talking about that, and he was comparing it to how when they worked at what was that? What was the name of that delivery service? UPS.
Yeah.
When he worked for UPS, and they would fudge their work numbers to increase, even if it was by 10 or 15 minutes, they would do it daily just so they get a few extra hours of money on their paycheck every week. So they were fudging. He compared that. Remember? He compared that. That was that little short.
Yeah.
He compared that to what the police department, the public safety departments, and the politicians have been doing in D.C. for the last God knows how many years. We don't even know how long it's been going on. It's been going on for so long.
Right.
This year, crime isn't just down from 2023, it's also down from 2019 before the pandemic.
Okay.
And we're at a 30-year violent crime low.
That's a lie.
We're not satisfied. We haven't taken our foot off the gas.
Yes, you have.
And we continue to look for ways
You defunded
to
the
make
police
our
in
city
Washington.
safer.
You have taken your foot off the gas.
Did.
We know, however, as most have heard from the president's press conference, that he has prerogatives in D.C. unlike anywhere else in the country, including his authority given by our home rule charter to require the mayor, to require me, to supply services of the Metropolitan Police Department. And
okay, so she has all that to say, and this was 3 weeks ago, right?
Right.
Let's fast forward to now, where the National Guard has been deployed to Washington, D.C. The crime rate is exponentially lower than ever seen before, to where they didn't have a murder for like
zero
since
homicides.
then. Zero homicides
since they take it over,
Since they take it over, which means all the boys don't have to worry about, getting shot in the streets. They could go walk the park safely. You could go walk with your kids around and like normal people. And it's crazy to think that you need the National Guards in your inner cities to do this.
Yeah, it is pretty insane, but it happens. It
is wild. So, like I said, fast forward from that to this is where we're at right now.
Yeah, please.
Calling on Democratic leaders across the country to work with you on crime. Do you see your efforts here in D.C., including, for example, working with Mayor Bowser here as a model for bringing more bipartisanship in matters not only with crime but also issues that matter to everyday American people's lives?
So Mayor Bowser's been great. She could have taken the thing, and then after I clean it up, they'll take credit for it. You know what they do is they take credit. Like
that is what they do.
We cleaned up Los Angeles. We did a great job.
Been trying to do that.
And it was overwhelming what was going on. And again, the police chief made a statement that we could not have done, there's no way they could handle it. You saw what was happening out there. It was going to be a disaster. We stopped it cold. If we didn't do that, would have been a very sad day. And remember, we have the Olympics, we have the World Cup, we have all these things coming, and we have 250. All of these things coming.
2-5.
But I watched Newsom get up and say he's doing a great. He's not. We're the ones that did it, and that's okay. Whatever it takes. But the main thing is we. But he got up and said we did it. Well, he didn't want us there, and he's going to need us again because it's starting to form again. I see it.
So I just want to point something out really quick, Double D, all right? So a lot of people would say, oh, this is Trump bragging. Why is he bragging? Why is he bragging? Why isn't he just doing? This isn't bragging. This is pointing out the obvious, okay? So if Gavin Newsom is saying that he's doing it all, but Trump's saying, hey, we're the ones that are actually doing it all, but that's okay. If he wants to take the credit, go ahead. That's not bragging. That's letting people know that someone is lying to you. right?
Yeah,
That is not
absolutely.
bragging. That is just telling the truth. Telling the truth is not bragging in this situation. This is just letting you know, hey, our administration is responsible for what happened in California and stopping the whole the rioting during the ice raids, right? That's what that was.
Absolutely.
He sent in National Guards during the rioting, during the ice raids, and that's okay though. You can take the credit if you want. We don't care. But we're just letting you know that we're the actual ones that stopped the problem, not you.
And just to be honest, Bert, I think America knows that too.
Yeah,
First of all,
1,000%.
I think most of the country looks at Gavin Newsom and they shake their head and slap themselves in the forehead and say, "Oh my God," because the truth be told, Newsom's an idiot. I mean, he has been. If it wasn't for his looks and being Nancy Pelosi's nephew, he wouldn't have failed as far up as he has. But that's why he has.
Here's the thing, though, Double D.
You want to talk about privilege? He's got nepo privilege.
Think about this though, right? He's just as much of a scumbag right now as when they had the recall election and they voted him in again and won. He's no less and no more of a scumbag right now than he was then. So then people get what they deserve. They can take. I am so happy. You know what? Let's get rid of California. Let's sell them. You know what I mean? Let's let them succeed. Let's let them be their own democratic stronghold.
Well,
hey, President Newsom turns it into a third world country and lives on his high horse eating steaks and lobster every day, shucking and jiving and throwing stones at people.
Yeah, well, California's on the verge of a split anyway, dude. They want to split it up into 2 states. They've already got Republicans calling. There's already Republicans calling for a 2-state solution.
I don't blame them because more up north they're more Republican.
Well, or east.
Yeah.
Once you get off the coast, dude, it's pretty much solid red.
If you go,
it's just that all the people live in the blue coastal part.
All them blue cities, like Los Angeles, has such a big part of it, and.
Right.
It's like,
Oakland,
what are you
Sacramento,
people
San
thinking?
Diego,
you
San
guys,
Francisco.
You guys love living in shitholes? Like, I don't get it, dude. Like, I wouldn't mind if we were a red city.
You keep forgetting that the elites have bars around their windows and they have walls around properties and they have heavy security.
That's very true.
It's really easy to virtue signal and pat yourself on the back and tell yourself how great you are for humanity.
That's
when
very
you're
true.
safe. When you are safely reserved away from humanity.
That's true. That is very true.
I mean, it's real easy to get caught up in that. And let's face it, most of them are actors and entertainers. They're full of themselves anyway. They're already got narcissistic issues.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably have narcissism issues. We're sitting on a TV show talking to people. So yes, we have a little bit of an ego to do that. So, but I'm not running for governor of California.
Yeah, me either.
I'm just bringing the news. I'm just bringing the truth.
Yeah.
Starting to form
arrogantly.
Again. We have to maintain. It's like maintenance on an airplane. You can buy it, but you have to maintain it.
Right. Exactly.
If you don't maintain it, a good plane becomes very unsafe.
Let's just sell it then.
So
can we just sell it then?
Yeah, because we're not maintaining it. Let's get rid of it. Or can we trade it in? Maybe we could trade California for, I don't know. Was there some cool place in Mexico? Baja. Let's trade it out for Baja. There you go. They can have California. We'll take Baja. We'll use it as a resort to go vacation on, and they can just continue to overdose on fentanyl and shit on the streets.
It's an honor to do it. It's a lot of presidents wouldn't do what I'm doing. I don't need this heat, but when I watched television last night and I'm watching the news and I see that 9 people were killed in Chicago and 54 were badly wounded with bullets, I say, that's not this country. We have to do something. And I do say this, I say this very much. I'm not speaking to anybody but them right now. I would love to receive calls from governors and mayors saying they need help. We'll help them. We have a lot of people. We have a great force. We have a great military force. Pete will tell you that when I was running for office, and this was a big headline, I think,
So you know what? What a great segue into what we're getting ready to watch. So I don't even think Trump needs to get any calls from any governors, from anyone else. Somebody needs to send Trump this video that we're about to watch right here. And this is the people of Chicago that are saying, yes, Trump, we want you to do this. We want you to bring in the National Guards. Things are getting out of hand. You can't go to the store. You can't do anything by yourself in this city. You can't do, it is ridiculous. And people, and these liberals who don't know what's really going on, that live in the suburbs, they don't see these types of things that happen. I see this stuff. I've seen this growing up. I grew up in the city. I know all about this lifestyle. I understand it. And they don't, people don't want to believe it, and they don't get it. So I don't know. But like I said, go ahead.
I would say the Washington D.C. thing was a little bit of a little different, only in the sense that, like Muriel Bowser said, he had a vested interest there because obviously he is there and security and what have you. So there is
now
a
this
vested
is about
interest.
the people.
But now the rest of the country, I think he's trying to not overstep his own belief in states' rights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's why I think he wants the invitation. He wants the governors, and yes, he could go in there and just do what he.
Yeah,
he
for sure.
Go in there
he doesn't want.
like he did with LA.
He doesn't want to do like what they say, be a dictator.
Exactly. He wants to do it with their blessing, and if they don't, well, then it is what it is. But here's the thing. I mean, he's trying to keep it as a states' right issue, and I think they're failing to notice that.
Right. So Anthony Brian Logan, ABL, if you guys don't follow him, go follow him. He put this video together. This is a compilation of black Chicago people saying that they want Trump to bring in the National Guards, and they support this. It's crazy because the liberal media, they won't show you this. They won't tell you this.
No, they're definitely not going to.
They'll act like this doesn't exist. They'll just go show all the little YNs over there that are out shooting everybody and killing everybody instead of showing you the truth of what the real people want.
Liberals in Chicago have the privilege of being able to say that we don't need the National Guard here in Chicago.
Wow, right there.
They have the privilege of saying that because they keep themselves in their careful bubbles of Lincoln Park, Wicker Park. They stay up in some of the northern areas, and they go and frolic at the beach, playing volleyball and pickleball and tennis in these areas where it's clean. There's minimal crime. Of course you feel like we don't need the National Guard because you've never stepped foot on the actual south and west side. Elitist progressives and leftist white Chicagoans have the privilege of not needing the National Guard in order to feel safe in their communities. They walk out their door in the morning with their babies to go get a quick coffee, and their kid on a scooter with a helmet.
You smug white liberals don't know what it's like to live in the inner city to judge what goes on in the inner city. That's why you should shut your mouth and vote properly, right? I lived in this city my whole life. No, it's not the greatest. Don't get me wrong. Our neighborhood is like a diamond in the rough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love our neighborhood.
Right. Our neighborhood is great, but not all of the city is like this.
It's not crime free, though. It's not crime free, though.
And not all the city is like this either.
No, and we actually live on a street surrounding us with kind of, the ghetto. We have to, we can't just
projects right down the street.
Yeah, I mean, so it's just we just happen to live where we live is on the border of Cleveland, Brooklyn, and Lindale, and quite frankly, with 3 police forces in your neighborhood, you'd have to be a fool to be a fuck up.
Exactly.
That's privilege. That's the same privilege that you claim you want to be a part of unpacking and getting away from. It's the yuppie white women in Chicago who want to scream about Trump being fascist, yet they keep themselves carefully, safely tucked away in Lincoln Park. come to Woodlawn.
Yeah.
And not the cute part. No, go past 63rd.
Yeah, exactly. Go to the hood.
Come to Auburn Gresham.
Go to the hood.
Chatham.
Yep.
Inglewood. Get on your scooter there. And do it about 7 o'clock. Okay. If you're not going to do that, mind your business.
Yep.
So
I
it's
agree.
just gone from bad to worse to disasters.
No one really feels safe. It's impossible to feel safe in a city like this, especially with the leadership we have.
The kids nowadays, they're just wreaking havoc in all of the neighborhoods. We didn't play with guns and we didn't listen to drill rap music like at this very young age. Like these kids are carrying guns like around the ages of 8 years old, and they're killing other 8-year-old kids with guns. It's insane.
So the governor and the mayor, Brandon Johnson, the governor and the mayor of Chicago are saying that they don't want Trump to come to Chicago because they're upset with him. This is so stupid. They're mad because he pulled grants for violence prevention or whatever it is that he pulled back in the spring. Talking about, well, you took the money, so you can't help us. If the money and the grants did not work, because God knows where that money went,
Right.
you try a different
work.
strategy to stop the violence. The violence is still continuing.
Exactly.
People are still being murdered down there all the time. So you don't want him to send the National Guard. And then I was watching on a video on YouTube. I forgot who the guy was, but it was still the mayor. He was being asked a question. He said, hey, if 5,000 troops or if 5,000 more policemen were released on the streets of Chicago, do you think that would help? He refused to answer the question.
He
kept
did. I
saying,
watched that.
I've seen that too.
Let's be clear here. You know, when I was growing up, he just started all he did was divert the question. He would not just say, hey, he said, look, I'm going to ask you one more time. He was like, would it be beneficial just off that alone? Everything else you said that's good, you know, affordable housing, okay, we got all of that. What if we gave you 5,000 more police officers to police the city? Would that help? He refused to answer the question. He kept diverting it. And you know what? All the Democrats do that. They always divert. If you say, they will never give Trump credit for anything good that he's done. They won't give him credit for any of that. They will still spew their hatred, and those people are dangerous. Those are the people that will never admit that they're wrong, even when all the cards are laid out and say, hey, this is where you're wrong right here. Do you agree? Because it's been proven this is where you're wrong with this. They will absolutely divert, and they will not admit the world where we continue to give money for.
You know, Double D, I think we need I think we need to get a couple of Democrats on here to just have a discussion with.
I think you're right. I think it is time to bring a Democrat or two on. As a matter of fact, this is an open, welcoming, invite to any Democrats that want to come on the Brick Road podcast. In particular, Democrat Socialist Tan May Shaw. I would love to have you come on the show. And I only have 3 questions for you, and they're all 3 things that you plan on implementing, but I just want to know how you plan on doing it. So I would love to have you on the show, but I would also love to have any Democratic voters. And if we have one from Chicago or Washington, D.C., that would be a bonus.
There you go.
Program that's obviously it's proven not to work, because we don't know where the money truly went, but the program didn't work. So why would I continue to fund something that's not providing a benefit? It's not stopping the issue. It's not stopping the murders. It's not stopping the violence. Why would I continue to give money? I'm going to try a different strategy. I'm going to put the cops in there and scare everybody. Not just scare everybody, but lock these criminals up like they should be. And they're not giving him credit for anything that's going on in D.C. The fact that the murders are down, that they haven't had any murders reported for the past 12 days or something like that. People are happy. People are feeling safe. There are even Democrats, black Democrats, because they don't even know why the heck they Democrat. They don't even know, truth be told. But anyway, they've just been told to follow the narrative because they are black. That's Negro here nor there. They're even showing support. They're like, dang, you know, I wouldn't vote for Trump, but it does feel good to go outside and there's nobody out here and there's nobody doing this and nobody doing that. Thank you. Because you are seeing true results. That is what Trump is providing. Stop and tell y'all that, because the way that he was talking, Trump, don't come here. We don't need your help. Who's going to help you then? Who's going to help the mothers that continue to lose children? Who's going to help these black men out here that ain't got no self-control and they need to be locked up somewhere so they can realize the error of their way? Anyway.
Well, the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, signed an executive order to instruct his law enforcement not to work with the feds, right? I thought executive orders was Nazi and fascism. I thought that they were a threat to democracy, but another instance of hypocrisy. Rules for thee, not for me.
Not for me.
You see
He's
what's
right.
happening in Chicago, right? Chicago is monetizing crime. Chicago is monetizing crime.
They really are, with all this drill music, with all the money that they make off all the crime that they rap about, that they talk about. No, they do the podcast, they do all this shit. It's true, they are monetizing crime. That is 1,000%.
Yeah, they are. That 1,000%.
Well, I guess I did look at it like that, but I never thought of it in that perspective.
So here comes the question then, because I mean, there's probably thousands of these testimonials at this point. And I think you'll find them all over the country, not just in Chicago. I think you're going to find, if you look hard, you don't even have to look that hard. I mean, they're in New York City. They're in, I mean, I would say Miami, but, you know, well, their mayor is an excellent mayor. So that's not they voted a Republican mayor in for the first time in, you know, since like the early 80s.
City?
So
What city?
Miami. Miami, Florida.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, what's his name? Valdez or something?
Yeah, they turned Miami for the first time red this year.
Yeah, and dude, what a great mayor he's turned out to be too. Oh man,
that's awesome.
Dude, their crime rate, they weren't even on that list that you sent me. Yeah. Miami wasn't even on that list anymore.
That's amazing.
Think about that.
That's amazing.
And there was a time Miami was in the top 5. They're not even on the list.
Yeah, well, there'd be like a lot of like, you know, a lot of like Haitians and shit over there that would like be killing each other and shit.
But they're not on the list for the
awesome.
crime rates anymore.
So maybe like everybody's like turning a different leaf around there.
Well, they also have good leadership now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give Muriel Browser her credits in Washington, D.C. 3 weeks ago, she was a complete different attitude. But as of now, like the president said, just don't go woke.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. The point being is maybe it's time to Washington D.C., Chicago too.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that's what these people want.
They're like, "Hey, Fed, send us more dollars." They throw a little bit of crumbs to the police unions, and they funnel the rest to the NGOs to continue to care for migrants, right? Because they're sanctuary city, and hands off of our voters, as they often say. What Trump needs to do is send a Doge team out there, send the National Guard to protect those Doge team, right, and audit the whole city.
Yeah,
top
absolutely.
to bottom.
I like
because you got to root the corruption out. Everybody, put cases on everybody, starting with Brandon Johnson.
Yep.
The Chicago Flips Red crew, try to get the feds to audit everything, all the books, preserve every last one of y'all documents, from the text chains to the emails. Yeah. Everybody got to get looked at.
I agree.
Look under everything. See where those dollars.
I think they should just do that with every major city in the country.
Absolutely.
Every sanctuary city in the country, they need to be looked at and audited for all their stuff, including us.
Well, here's what I think. If your city is collecting federal funds to run your city properly and safely, and your city is not being run properly and safely, you should be audited.
Yep, you need to be looked at and seen what's really going on with the money and why it's not being done properly.
Because Chicago is at a deficit. And it's not going to end this year. It's just going to compound. And then your city going to go bankrupt. And then all the jobs going to flee, and it's going to be Detroit. Like what happened to Detroit during the 08 housing crisis, and when all those bailouts had to go to the big autos. That's what's going to happen to Chicago shortly, in a hurry. And by that time, Brandon Johnson probably going to like punt the football to some other poor mayor that ain't going to know what he's doing. So until there's an audit, they're just going to keep playing with y'all money. So the taxpayers, we want to know where those dollars went.
I guess another pay. All right, so we get the gist of things, right? We get the basics of what the Chicago people are actually saying, not just what Brandon Jacobs is saying, not just what these white smug liberals are saying, not what all these people that aren't actually experiencing what's going on in these inner cities are saying, right? we're getting it from the people that are experiencing it, dealing with it on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely, and I think they're tired of it. I think they're calling it out, calling it for what it is.
Honestly, I think America's tired of it.
Out.
I think America's tired of it.
Oh, that's obvious, dude. I think we're so fatigued with all the BS at this point. The Democrat Party in general is just the corruption, the obvious corruption that we have. It's just unbelievable at this point how it's where they're at. It's sad that it's gotten to the point to where we have to start deploying the National Guards to our sanctuary cities. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to do it, clean it up, and hopefully it lasts. That's all. And see how it goes.
And you know what's funny? Everything going on, they want to act like things are like a gun problem when it's a people problem.
Oh yeah, dude, it's all
just anything, right? They're gonna blame the stuff in Chicago on the guns, that they have access to so many guns, even though they have the strictest gun laws in the country, right? But they have access to all these illegal guns, and that's how all these people are getting shot and killed, right?
Brandon Johnson actually blamed Indiana. Who did he blame? Indiana, Tennessee, a few other, he didn't mention Ohio, which I was surprised, but Indiana was the one he blamed first, and then he blamed like Kentucky and Tennessee for the influx of guns getting into Chicago.
Right.
And he was saying that the guns were coming from Florida and they were coming from North Carolina, and kept giving all these red states that the guns were coming from.
Right.
And it's like, well, if you allowed 2A in Illinois to freely work as it works, you would have background checks at your gun shows, and you wouldn't have people, because if you're sneaking guns into the state, let's just say hypothetically he's correct and they're being imported from all these red states. Well, if they were in control of it as a state, then they would be able to control at least some of who those guns fall into the hands of.
Right.
So honestly, it's a self-perpetuating problem.
Right.
And to blame the guns for the actions of people, then in that case, we could blame every car for every accident that happens to.
Basically, what Double D is saying, here's a wake-up call, people. It's not the gun's fault, it's the person's fault.
Yeah, guns don't kill, people kill. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's awesome.
Yeah, it's very true. It is very true. Well, I feel like we're good for tonight.
Yep, yeah, I would say so. And as far as the gun violence, I mean, they have the strictest gun laws in America besides New York City and Los Angeles. So, hey, if your gun laws aren't working, then maybe it's not the gun laws and maybe it's not the guns. Maybe it's the mental illness problem instead.
Yep.
And when you facilitate mental illness as a badge of honor and as a protected class, you're going to have a lot more crazy people.
That is very true. That is very true. All right, everybody, on that note, I want to thank God. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank Double D. I want to thank my family. And I also want to encourage you to please hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe, smash that notification again. Without you guys, without God, without everyone, none of this is possible. And I'm going to give it off to Double D.
And with that, Bird, thank you as always. Make this possible every week, along with our audience that sticks around and joins us every week. Most importantly, though, I would like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And with that, good night, y'all.
All right, everybody. Have a good one. Peace.